If you're practicing later on from the YouTube channel, just know that we are going to cover the root chakra today. Got my red shirt on, and then we're going to use a block. So if you have a yoga block, cool. If you don't have a yoga block, just a sturdy hardcover book, something that you don't mind placing your foot on. That's where we're going to go with. Oh, and I sat down, but I said we were going to start standing up. So after you sat down and got comfortable, come back up and just stand on one side of the chair. And it doesn't matter which side of the chair you choose to stand on, whatever feels the most comfortable. And we want it just maybe nearby so that your hip can touch the side of the chair and your arms can rest comfortably, or maybe place yourself so that a hand can be on the chair if standing is a position that you feel comfortable in. Once you've found a standing position, hand on the chair or hands at your sides, we're just going to take a moment to find a little mountain pose. So start by looking down at your feet. We're going to lift the toes, spread your toes as wide as you can, and then keeping that nice wide spread of the toes, set your toes back down. So your toes might look a little funny. And then we want to think big toes in towards each other, but heels apart, if you can find that situation. Some people like a close stance. I personally prefer a hip width distance apart stance. So find a stance in your feet that feels really solid that you can ground down into. And then once you feel like you've got your feet set up, come just a little bit taller up through your spine, and then bring a little energy down through your fingertips. So we're lit up through the front of the body, grounding down through the back of the body, eyes forward, focus your gaze. Take a nice big breath in. Nice slow breath out. 2 more cycles of breath here in this mountain pose. We just want to find this nice, strong grounding position to start our practice. Take 1 more breath. And then when you feel ready, just kind of soften everything up. Get loose in the shoulders, wiggle your knees, wiggle your hips. And then with that sense of soft looseness, then find a seat in your chair and scoot yourself all the way back. So butt back in your seat, back against the back of the chair. A preferred chair is chair with no arms, but if you're just working in with whatever chair you have available, awesome. And then take a second as you come comfortable in your seat. Another side note, if you're short and your feet don't touch the ground, use your block or your book, place it underneath your feet, and it brings the floor up to meet you. Just know that that's available. Okay, so with yourself scooted way back in your chair, if it feels comfortable to do so, just take a moment to close your eyes down. Take a few gentle breaths here without any efforting. No need to do anything with the hands, with the feet. Let your shoulders be soft and heavy. If you can keep your eyes closed and just send your sense of awareness down to your feet. So notice your feet touching the floor. Notice the solidness underneath the soles of your feet. If you're wearing shoes or socks, maybe notice the support of the shoes and the texture of your socks. If you're barefoot, maybe notice the texture of the floor beneath you and the coolness of the air on your skin. Now see if you can let your awareness come to the backs of your thighs and your butt. So the part of your hips that are connected to the chair. Notice the solidness of the chair underneath you or variations. So my chair is solid and wood. If your chair has a soft cushion or anything like that, or plastic or some sort of texture, just notice the firmness of your seat. Notice the texture underneath you. And then if it feels available, bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart, and just notice the natural rhythm of your breath. So just allow your breath to come in naturally, allow your exhale to happen naturally, but you might start to notice and feel that gentle bit of movement of your breath underneath your hands. Keeping your hand on your belly and your hand on your heart. Now tuning into that greater sense around you. So noticing without opening your eyes, even get a sense of where the walls are around you, the floor beneath you, the ceiling above you. And then offer up just a little bit of gratitude for the safe space that you have to work in. And then before we move away from this place of quiet stillness, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice, never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Wonderful. And then with that intention set, start to lift your back away from the back of the chair. So hand on the belly, hand on the heart, but now we're sitting up just a little bit taller. And then keeping the hand on the heart, take your hand that's on the belly, stack it on top of the hand that's on the heart. We're going to put a little bit of gentle pressure on. So we're going to try to move the skin and the little bit of muscle that's along the front of the heart space. So just a gentle pressure. We're going to draw some light circles, go in one direction, just allowing the skin and the connective tissue to move a little bit underneath your hands. And then take those circles and draw them the other way. Awesome. And then release your hands and reach for your knees or for your thighs. We're going to move right into a seated cat-cow from here. Inhale as you lift your chest, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Exhale as you round your back, pull the abdominal muscles in, round your shoulders, tuck your chin towards your chest. Inhale as you lift your heart. Exhale as you round your back. And then just take a second here to notice. If you don't have enough room for your back or your butt to move, you'll maybe just scoot yourself forward a little bit so you feel like you have plenty of space to move through your spine in any way that feels good. Take a few more cycles of breath here, just finding your breath's rhythm. But as you start to move here, notice that gentle pressure that comes down into your feet. Maybe it changes as you press into the feet, lift your heart, and then soften through the feet as you round your back. Great. Take one more moment to notice your feet. Keep that cat and cow going, but now see if you can notice that gentle movement of your glutes or your butt muscles in your chair. Lovely. Take one more cat and cow here. And then as you find a nice tall neutral spine, we're going to pick up the left leg. So we're going to make a little basket weave, pick the left leg up, let your arms do the heavy lifting. So the leg is soft and heavy. Take your leg or your thigh bone and draw it in a couple of circles. Go in one direction. Beautiful. Take that leg, draw it in circles, go the other way. Nice. And then hug that leg up toward your heart, just as far as it feels comfortable to go. And then when you're ready, release that leg down. And we're going to take it right to the other side. So make your little basket weave, pick your leg up, let your arms do the heavy lifting if you can. Draw your thigh bone in circles, go in one direction. Beautiful. Draw your thigh bone in circles, go the other way. Nice. And then set that foot down. We're going to come back over to the left foot. Now we're going to trace the perimeter of the foot. So you're going to circle around, think tips of the toes, outer edge of the foot, instep and edge of the heel. So we're just circling around one foot, moving the ankle, moving the knee, moving the hip a little bit. And then take your foot circles and draw them the other way. But we want to really focus on that tracing of the perimeter of the foot. So think blade edge, tips of the toes, instep and edge of the heel. Awesome. And then set that foot down, take it right over to the other side. So tips of the toes, blade edge of the foot, instep and edge of the heel. And then notice too that one side might feel just a little bit different than the other. So allow those subtle variations to happen and just pay attention without any judgment. And then when you feel ready, take those circles and go the other way. Nice. One more circle around. And then both feet nice and solid on the ground. anchor into your sits bones, sit up nice and tall. Left hand's going to touch to the side of the chair. Right hand's going to reach up. We're going to start by grounding into the sits bones. So think about gently pressing down as you lift up through the fingertips. So now the side body is going to be open just a little bit. And then once you feel like you've got that solid foundation down into the sits bones, lean over just a little bit. Take a nice deep breath in. Notice that movement in the side of the ribs. Maybe feel a little stretch in the side body. Take one more breath. And then release with control. Touch down to the chair. Other hand is going to reach up, but now we're going to anchor into the sits bones. So sitting bones press down into your chair, which might mean you also press into your foot. Reach and lift through the fingertips. And then once you've found that sense of length, then lean over or away from that side. So you open up through the side body and then just see if you can notice the movement of breath in the side of your ribs. Nice. When you're ready, lift up with control. We're going to take it right into a seated twist. So right hand's going to find the left knee. Left hand is going to go behind you. Low side of the chair, tall side of the chair, just whatever feels more comfortable. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release and take your twist over to the other side. Beautiful. When you're ready, release, come back to center. And now we're going to start to find a little lean and reach. So we want to feel our sits bones feeling like they're anchored on the chair. Arms are going to come out just as wide as feels good, but we're going to create a little bit of a tipsy feeling. So we're going to reach across so that maybe one sits bone is a little bit more anchored in the chair. We want to light up the muscles in the side body. So reach like you're reaching for something across the room. And then if it feels good to do so, add a little grab. So move through the fingers. Make a little fist, and then take it over to the other side. Nice. Take one more time each side. And then as you come back to center, reach both hands behind. See if you can touch the back of the chair, hug your shoulder blades together, lift your heart, lift your chin, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Release back to a nice tall neutral spine, and then start to roll the shoulders up to the ears, around, out, and back. And you take it as fast or slow as feels good. I sometimes find going super slow and getting real deep into it feels good, but then sometimes I find that a little bit of a fast fluid motion also feels good. So you play around with what rhythm works good for you, just noticing that space between the shoulder blades and maybe even noticing the muscles that are on the tops of the shoulders. Take one more circle around in this direction. And then take those circles and go the other way. And then notice here, those forward circles might feel a little bit awkward, or the backwards ones might feel a little awkward. So just notice those little subtle variations. Beautiful. One more circle around, and then draw the shoulders down and back. Find your seated mountain pose. Press gently or firmly down into the feet. Sits bones anchored into your chair, arms down at your sides. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. Do that again. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. One more time here. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers, flip the palms, press them forward, glide the shoulders down, or make some space so the shoulder blades feel comfortable. And then once you've got your way there, press a little bit firmer into the palms. Close your eyes down, take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. And then we're going to release and unlace the fingers, give them a little wiggle. But now we're going to take the right hand and grab hold of the skin of the left arm. So we're going to twist and turn up and down the forearm just to move the skin, move the connective tissue just a little bit and stimulate the outer edges of the skin. And then take it up to the bicep. Twist and turn up towards the shoulder and back down towards that elbow and elbow pit. Awesome. One more up and down, and then switch right over to the other arm. A little grip, twist and turn the forearm. Beautiful. And then take it to the bicep and twist and turn up towards the shoulder. Nice. Take one more little twist and turn, and then come back to your mountain pose. Anchor into your feet, root into your sits bones. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, we're going to fold. So lift your heart and dive your heart forward, reach down towards your toes. Does not matter if you can touch your toes, you're just going to come to a fold that works good for you. Inhale to a half forward fold. So hands are going to maybe glide to the shins, a little activity in the back. Beautiful. Exhale, soften back down. Pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up through the spine. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. Find your mountain pose again. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Pull the abdominal muscles in, roll up through the spine. Roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. Land in mountain pose. Do that one more time. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll on up, roll the shoulders around, down, and back. And then nice and solid in your seat, we're going to start a light little march. So we're going to pick up one knee and then the others. So this is a little bit of a strengthening maneuver. You're going to feel the muscles, those hip flexor muscles right at that hip crease. Those are the areas that are going to get a little action here. Still trying to keep a nice tall posture. One more little march each leg. And then the next time your left leg lifts up, hold it lifted nice and strong. And then a light swing of the foot. So it's a strong controlled movement. Your other foot is nice and grounded and your butt is nice and anchored in your chair. Lovely. One more little kick forward and back with that leg and then set it down, bring it over to the other side. Pick the leg up, hold it in that hover position, and then a light kick of the foot. Doesn't need to be straightened out all the way. Doesn't need to be extreme. We want the strength in the leg doing most of the work. Nice. One more kick forward and back. And then set that foot down. We're going to move into our seated sun salutation. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Right hand's going to touch over to the left shin or knee. Left hand's going to reach up for a little twist. Look towards that left hand. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then release that left hand to the knee or the shin. We're going to pick the knee up, hug it towards the chest, a light little squeeze. Release that foot back down and come into your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left hand over to the right shin or knee. Right hand reaches up, look towards the right hand. Take a nice big breath in. Slow breath out. Release the right hand to the shin or the knee. Pull that knee up to the chest. Give a light little squeeze. Awesome. And then release that foot down, come back to your mountain pose. Now, if you have your block handy, we're going to set it up and then we're going to add it into our little rotation. So you're going to decide just how your hips are feeling today. It's going to be a half Malasana pose. So a little bit of a lighter version of that half or a half version of our low yogi squat. So what's going to happen is we're going to step the foot in an external rotation, heel on the block or foot on the block. You're just going to play around with what feels good. And then you'll also decide what height feels good. So I personally like that tall height because I like that knee up just a little bit, but you'll play around with what feels good to you. So if you feel like you have a block or a book handy, set it off to the side and then come back to your mountain pose. Nice. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches for a twist. Look towards that hand, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then release that hand to the shin or the knee. Draw that knee up to the chest, a light little squeeze. And now we're going to swing the foot out. So a nice wide configuration. Circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. And then place your foot in that slight external rotation onto your block or your book. And even if you just place it on the floor, it might just mean a little step out. So do the variation that works good for you. Once you found your way there, sit up nice and tall. We're going to take the left hand back of the arm into the inner thigh, and we're going to push the back of the arm into the thigh, and the thigh is going to resist. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. We're going to find that little bit of leverage so the inner thigh is active, knee is pushing in, arm is pushing out, so everything is nice and strong, solid in your shoulder. Take one more breath. Awesome. And then soften that up. Grab the knee, pull it back up towards the shoulder, swing it in, release it down, pick up your block, Set it over to the other side. One side might be different than the other, so you might choose some other variation on this side, just depending on how your hips feel. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches up, look to that hand, take a nice big breath. Beautiful, release that hand down, slide up the shin, bring the knee up to the chest, a light little squeeze, and then swing that leg out, circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. And then we'll take it into that half Malasana, whatever that means to you. So perhaps you step onto the block, perhaps you just step the foot out wide and onto the floor. So find the variation that works good for you. And then we're going to take that right hand, back of the arm into the inner thigh. We're going to get a little bit of leverage. So think about pushing the back of the arm into the thigh. The thigh is going to resist. Sit up nice and tall. Feel that strength. So feel that strength in the inner thigh. Feel that strength up in your shoulder. Take one more moment. And then soften that up. Pick the knee up. Bring it back to center, set it down, find your mountain pose again. Nice. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down, right hand over to the left shin, left hand reaches to the sky. We're gonna pick up the pace here. Float that hand down, slide up the shin, bring the knee up to the chest, bring your nose to your knee. Lift up, but hold on to that knee. Swing it out nice and wide, circle your foot in one direction. Circle your foot the other way. Bring it back in with control, set it down, back to mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften down. Left hand over to the right shin, right hand reaches to the sky. Release that hand down right away. Slide up the shin, bring the knee to the chest, bring your nose to your knee. Awesome. And then release that foot down to the ground. Now we're going to scooch our butt over into our chair. So we're going to scooch our way over so that the outer leg is free to move. And then we're going to slide the foot back and out just a little bit into a little bit of a warrior one. So hips are going to stay facing forward. We're going to slide that foot back, and you can either have toe in the heel on the ground, or if it feels better, toes tucked under and find a little bit of a lunge position there. But we want to try to see if we can arrange it just so that the hips are facing forward. And you might choose to keep your hands on the chair, but if it feels good, you're going to reach your arms up, look up, nice and strong and solid in your seat, reaching energy up towards the sky, looking upward if you can find it. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Left hand is going to reach back and see if you can touch the back of your thigh. And then once you found your way there, just a big lift through that right hand. Look up just a little bit further. Awesome. And then with control, release that down. Slide that back leg in. We're going to scooch our way over and across to the other side. So you're going to scoot yourself around so that outer hip is free. And then we're going to slide the leg back. So maybe you slide it back so that the heel and the toe can touch the ground, maybe a little bit wider position. Any variation of a lunge here that feels good, see if you can arrange it so hips are facing forward. Once you've got your leg in a place that feels good, raise your arms up or just hold on to the chair and think of that upward momentum through the crown of your head. Take one more breath. Release your hands down, soften that back leg, slide everything back up and in, scoot your butt around, swish your knees a little side to side, make sure everything feels good. And now we're going to step our feet so that we get a little side seat. So step, scoot your butt around. So you're sitting in that side saddle position, and then legs are going to stay where they are. Rotate your torso so hands can find the back of the chair. Rotate as deep into it as it feels good. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Awesome. Release that twist. Scoot your butt forward. So now the hip is going to hang off the edge of the seat. And then we're just going to see if we can let the knee drop down, hold on tight to the chair in any way that works good for you. And we're just going to take a couple of little hip dips. So we're going to drop the knee down and then hike the hip up. And then see here if you can find some of that hiking up action happening out of your hips and your glutes and less in the side body. There is work that's happening in the side body, but see if you can find a little extra help from your glutes or from your hips. Take one more little hip dip. And then when you're ready, swing it back through center, maybe take a couple of swishes of the knees, and then we're going to swing it all the way over to the other side. So do your little step first, get your side saddle seat, rotate towards the back of the chair. Leverage it into that twist just as far as feels good. Take a nice deep breath in. Slow breath out. Wonderful. And then release your twist. Scoot your bum forward so that you can slide that leg down so the knee is in line with the hip. And then we're going to take a couple of little hip dips here. So hip is going to drop down and then lift up. And then again, same thing here. At first, you might find most of that work coming out of those oblique muscles or those side body muscles. But now see if you can just get your glutes, your hips to kind of help assist. Wonderful. One more little dip of the hips. And then when you're ready, swing everything back to center. Take a couple of swishes of the knees side to side. And then with feet nice and solid on the ground, nice tall upright posture, we're going to drop the left ear over to the left shoulder. Just let it hang nice and heavy. If it feels good to do so, close your eyes down. If all of that feels good, add a gentle nod of the head up and down. Let that nodding come to stillness. We're going to reach the left hand up, over, and across. So see if you can catch hold of the side of the head. And then rather than trying to pull the head down towards the shoulder, we're actually going to push the head up into the hands. The hand's going to resist. You're going to try to gently press your head up into your hands. So you might feel the muscles in the side of the neck fire up just a little bit. And then when you're ready, release that. Maybe draw just a little bit deeper into that side bend of the neck. And then release your hand, roll your chin across your chest, take it over to the other side. So first we're going to find just nice little ear towards the shoulder. Take a nice big breath in. Notice how everything feels. And then if it feels good to do so, add a gentle nod of the head up and down. Lovely. Now let the nodding come to stillness. If it feels good, right hand's going to reach up, over, and across, and then we're going to create that little resistance. So you're going to push your head into your hand. The hand is going to resist. Notice one side might feel totally different than the other. It might have been easier to find it on one side than the other. Lovely. And then when you're ready, release, soften, maybe draw it a little bit deeper into that stretch, and then release your hand, roll your chin down to your chest, and then take a couple little figure eights here. Wonderful. One more little figure eight here, and then find a neutral position with the head. Step your feet forward. So we're going to take it into a little folded ragdoll. So we're going to think belly up and over. We're going to keep the knees nice and super bent, heels are on the ground. Slide yourself forward into a fold that works good for you. I like belly and chest resting on the thighs, and you can try to reach down and catch hold of your toes. You can also use your block if that helps bring a little support into the fold. So any variation that feels good, just fold as deep as feels right. See if you can invite a little bit of softness into your low back, and see if you can notice or find some awareness of movement of breath in the back of your body and in your rib cage. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, walk yourself up nice and slow and controlled. We're going to pick up the left leg. So grab the knee, grab the heel, get a little external rotation, rock the leg a little side to side. And then here's another place where it's just about the variations in your hips and what you've got going on. So you might choose to bring a block into play and find a figure 4 at the block or across your ankle. Or if it's available, you're going to bring it right across the thigh, finding a figure 4 that works good for your body and for your hips. And then once you found your way there, just lean yourself forward into a slightly folded figure 4 shape that feels good to you. So no zinging in the knees, no shooting pain in the low back, hopefully just sensation in the outer edges of the hip. One more breath. Lift up through the crown of your head, rotate slightly towards your knee, draw your knee toward your heart with a light little squeeze. And then release, help lift that leg up, and we're going to take that all to the other side. So we're going to pick up the right knee, grab the heel, externally rotate, rock the leg a little side to side, Same thing on this side, or it might be a variation on this side. So maybe one side works good to cross it over the thigh. Maybe you use the block, maybe you cross at the ankle. So you're going to find your figure 4 that makes sense to your hips, to your knees, to your back. Once you've got yourself set up, sit up nice and tall, lean yourself forward and come to a fold that makes sense to you. Nice. When you're ready, lift through the crown of your head, let your heart follow, rotate slightly towards your knee, gently draw your knee toward your chest, get a light little squeeze, and then release, help that leg come off, set it down, give your knees a little swish, and we'll just do one little finish for the head and the neck, and then start to find our way to our Shavasana. So right hand is going to touch to the cheek. You're going to push your hand into the cheek, and your cheek is going to push into your hand, like you're trying to turn your head, but your head is going to resist. So you're going to push your cheek into your hand. Hand is going to resist. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release, switch right over to the other side. Hand to the cheek. Cheek is going to push into the hand. Hand is going to resist. Hold that resistance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your hand. Now turn your head and look over your left shoulder. Look as far as you can. Once you've turned your head as far as your head can go, look your eyeballs in the opposite direction, and you're going to hold that steady gaze. So you're going to try to turn your eyes. So eyes are turned to the right, head is turned to the left, eyes open, a little effort in the eyes. Hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your eyes, return your head to center, roll your shoulders down and back, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So turn your head to the right as far as it will go. Once you've got the head turned, now look your eyes in the opposite direction. So head is turned to the right, eyes look to the left, and hold that steady position with the eyes nice and strong. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your eyes, release your head back to center, shrug your shoulders down and back, and then start to walk your butt way back into your seat. Get nice and comfortable here. Settle your butt into your chair, soften your back into the back of the seat, and then if it feels available and comfortable, close your eyes. Give a second to just kind of let your body wiggle into a nice soft position. And then as we find our way into the seated Shavasana, we just want to give a little time to let our mind and our body come together with all the work that we've just done. Allow your toes to be soft, feet nice and heavy on the ground. Soft and heavy through your calves and your shins. Soft in your knees, soft in your thighs. Notice if you're holding any tension in your abdomen or your bum. See if you can let all those places go, knowing you have just a little time here to let go of any effort. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Give your toes a little wiggle. Give your fingers a little wiggle. If you're wearing shoes or socks, maybe become aware of that support of the shoes, the texture of the socks. If your feet are bare, notice the texture of the floor, the mat underneath you, or the carpet, and maybe notice the air on your skin. And then when you feel ready, start to lift up nice and tall, lifting your back away from the chair. Keep your eyes closed if you can. You know where you're going, but now see if you can just walk your butt forward in your seat just a little bit. So your butt is centered in your chair, feet are nice and solid on the ground. And then once you found that nice, tall, upright position of the spine, draw the shoulders down and back, firm your belly up just a little bit, reach up a little taller through the top of your head. Notice the floor underneath you. Get a sense of the ceiling above you, the walls around you, and once again, offer up just a little bit of gratitude for the safe space that you had to work in. Nice. And then when you're ready, open your eyes, and then we're going to step the feet forward. So heels are still going to be on the ground. Take it into a light good morning stretch to start. So we're going to start by feeling the heels anchored on the ground. Reach up through the fingertips, lift your gaze, stretch nice and tall up through the fingers, and just feel that little bit of lighting up through the side body and up into your armpits. Take a nice big breath. And then if it feels good, you're going to lean back just a little bit, pick up your heels, and then reach through the fingers, reach through your toes, get that nice big bit of length through your entire body, and then set your feet down, slide them all the way in, and we're going to finish with a little bit of strength. So heels are going to come slightly underneath or behind the knees. Reach your hands forward. We're going to push into the feet. Feel your glutes light up a little bit, like as if you're trying to stand up and lift your butt out of the chair. So in the seated chair pose, just to add that element of strength to finish nice and strong. Reach through your fingertips, push down into your heels, and then if you can, you're going to stand up from this position. So you're going to lean your chest forward, press into the feet, rise up nice and strong, and then now take that big good morning stretch here. Reach through the fingers, press down into the feet, open your heart up, and then when you're ready, release your hands down. Bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. Close your eyes down if you can. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. Breathe in a little extra love and gratitude for your friends, for your family, for your pets. And then breathe in a little extra love and gratitude for the ones that it's hardest to find that love and gratitude for. And when you feel ready, gently lift up to the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Wednesday. You guys are amazing.